In the last 5 years, I've read hundreds of self-help books, watched 1,000 different podcasts, tried all forms of diets and supplements. I did all of these things just to try and fix my broken attention span. And in this video, I'm going to give you 2 protocols that I wish I had known years ago. Also, at the end of this video, I'm going to talk about one thing that you are probably doing that is absolutely wrecking your attention span. So stick along till the end. Back in high school, I remember sitting at this little table and trying to study, and this thought came to me that perhaps I should time myself. So I sat there with a stopwatch. Take a wild guess how long that study session lasted. It lasted for a grand total of 12 minutes. And even during those 12 minutes, it wasn't like just 12 minutes of continuous focus. I had like 10 different thoughts during those 12 minutes. I felt agitated, bored, and I had to like read the same sentence over and over again to like comprehend its meaning. So for me, basically just sitting and trying to study was like the most painful experience that I could go through because I used to absorb absolutely nothing. But that is not who I am anymore. My name is Jibreal Khan, and I've been a software engineer at Fortune 500 companies like Dell Technologies, AMD, Synopsys. Additionally, I've been one of the top performing students in my bachelor's and my master's program. I did all of these things while reading books and working on personal development. And one of the major reasons why I was able to make this transformation was because I had finally increased my attention span from 12 minutes to 4 to 5 hours a day. And I'm going to show you how exactly I did this so you can like literally copy all these steps and do it yourself. So back then, one of the biggest reasons why my attention span was like so messed up was because what I was putting in my mouth. Like I was waking up and eating sugary Cocoa Pops the first thing in the morning, and then throughout the day I would just eat a bunch of garbage like KFC, McDonald's, soda, chocolates. Like this was like my coping mechanism after like a terrible day at school. This is what I used to do because there was this food delivery app that I was just so familiar with and it was so convenient, and that person used to deliver food right at my door. I didn't have to like move an inch. And back then what I always thought about fast food was that yeah, it's bad, your parents keep telling you it's bad, but it's not that bad. All it does is make you a bit fat, a bit chubby. To me back then as a teenager, I was a skinny little kid, so it wasn't really much of a problem. To me this was like a great deal. Like I can eat McDonald's, I can drink soda, I can eat chocolates, and I get to put on weight. Wow, that's amazing. I'll take this deal. But it is only now that I understand the true dangers of fast food. The real danger of fast food is that it messes up your attention span, it lowers your level of motivation, it makes you have a really shitty mood throughout the day, it increases your stress levels, it messes up your hormones, it destroys you internally, it changes the way you think and look at the world and the sort of activities that you actually want to do. Those are like the true dangers of fast food. It's not just external stuff, it's actually more the internal stuff. And this is why I never had a good attention span as a kid, because I used to consume all this processed garbage, and this used to give me inflammation and brain fog. This is why I was always confused, kind of lethargic, tired, didn't know what to do next, didn't know how to study, didn't care where I was heading in life. So the next time you want to have some processed shit, literally take it and check what's in the ingredients. You're gonna find that all of these things have like 10 plus ingredients in them. Like these things do not grow out of the ground or exist as animals in nature. No, these things were literally designed by some scientists in a lab coat in some factory with a lot of chemical processes, and when you eat them your body does not accept them, and that is why you get all these weird chaotic symptoms, including a shortened attention span. Once I finally understood the meaning behind the saying that you are what you eat and how this is so true and applicable, I immediately cut off all sort of processed garbage, not even in moderation. I was like, you know what? I'm not moderately poisoning myself. I'm not getting moderate doses of brain fog anymore. I'm going to cut all these things off cold turkey, and that is exactly what I did. So I replaced all this processed garbage with whole, natural, single ingredient, barely processed food. And these are things like chicken, meat, fish, potatoes, honey, dates. All these things have just like one ingredient in them, and for the most part they are unprocessed. Also, I used to have like a bunch of cravings when I made this switch because my body still remembered all the nasty stuff that I had consumed before. So what I used to do was I actually used to go on fasts that were like 18 to 20 hours long, and these fasts were like the most helpful thing for me because these fasts eliminated those cravings. Like literally going without food for like 18 to 20 hours allows you to win back control over your willpower, and it eliminates all these cravings of sugary, unhealthy stuff that you have accumulated in your head for years and years. So switching over to whole food and fasting, the combined effect of these on my attention span was like absolutely amazing. Just in a few weeks of implementing these changes, my attention span went from 12 minutes to like 2.5 hours. If you're the kind of person that enjoys information-based content rather than just pointless entertainment, then click on the subscribe button because I'm going to be making a lot more of these. One other reason why my attention span was just so screwed up was because I was constantly numbing myself with instant pleasure. So literally the first thing I did when I woke up was check my notifications, and then I used to like scroll for 10-15 minutes. This is as soon as I woke up, didn't even brush my teeth, didn't even wash my face, didn't even get out of the bed. That is how my mornings used to start. And then for the rest of the day, I used to look for opportunities, free time where I could play more video games, binge watch Game of Thrones, binge watch Netflix. So I was pretty much someone who like seeked instant pleasure, instant gratification, bombarding my brain with all the stimulus of all different kinds throughout the entire day. What I later realized was that when you do such activities like playing video games for 2 hours, you do not feel like doing productive things after that. It's because your brain has experienced such absurd amount of stimulation and dopamine that all other productive activities that are like actually good for you, they seem boring in comparison to that. They just pale in comparison because your brain has been desensitized to the amount of dopamine from all these bad shitty activities. So naturally, when you find these productive things boring, like reading, writing, studying maths, when you actually begin to find them boring, it's natural that you can't pay attention to them, and this becomes like a vicious cycle. Because you can't do any productive things, there becomes a void in your life, and then you fill this void with more instant gratification, more video games, more shitty food, and you further lose your attention span and you further become bored of the productive things. So this was the vicious cycle that I was stuck in for like years and years. Here's what I did to break the cycle. I literally noted down all of these activities that I was doing in my life, from video games to scrolling through social media to eating garbage food to watching Netflix shows. I noted them all down and I quit them all cold turkey. I know what some of you are thinking, no Jibreal, moderation is good, blah blah blah, this is what conventional wisdom says. Moderation never worked for me. In my opinion, these things are not designed to be used moderately. They release so much dopamine that it's hard to control your behaviors when it comes to these things. For me, quitting them cold turkey is far easier. Uninstalled all the apps, packed my video games, unsubscribed from Netflix. For the next 60 days, I went into this monk mode dopamine detox protocol where I replaced all of these shitty behaviors with good delayed gratification behaviors, such as going to the gym, reading books, improving my vocabulary, running, learning martial arts. And I know some of you see these videos on dopamine detox by these popular YouTubers where they have like locked themselves in a room and that is how they're detoxing. I would say that's like absolutely horrible. That's not how you're supposed to do a dopamine detox, because you are essentially going to be bored and you're going to create a void in your life, and this void needs to be filled with healthy, productive activities. And if you don't fill it with productive activities, then you are very likely going to be tempted by those degenerate activities once again. And after doing 60 days of dopamine detox, I felt that my brain had recalibrated and I once again found the productive things interesting again. I enjoyed reading, I enjoyed studying, I enjoyed programming, I enjoyed working on my side hustle, I enjoyed creating videos. And it's hard not to focus on something that you actually enjoy. And being interested in something is like one of the quickest way to improve your focus at that thing. Like, when was the last time you heard someone say that, hey man, I really can't focus on playing video games? If you enjoy something, you are naturally going to focus on it more. But you have to regain your ability to actually enjoy that thing via dopamine detox. Now, coming to the worst thing that you could possibly do for your attention span. If you are doing this, then literally no amount of self-help videos can help you out. This is consuming short form content like YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, TikToks. You see, your brain literally has this ability to rewire itself based on your actions. This is called neuroplasticity. For example, there's this kid who's playing soccer for like 100 days in a row. Eventually, he's going to get better at soccer because his brain has like optimized itself, rewired itself to get better at soccer. He's going to kick the ball better, control the ball better, pass the ball better. Just think of what exactly you're teaching your brain when you're scrolling through short form content. You are literally teaching it to be only able to focus on things for 60 seconds at a time before demanding the next thing, before moving on to the next highly stimulating thing. That is how you're rewiring your brain. You're essentially just teaching it to shorten its own attention span. And that's not it. These 60-second long clips are like literally the highlight of some individual's life. And you're watching a bunch of highly stimulating highlight of someone's life. Just 60 seconds of his achievements taken and captured in a moment. All this releases absurd amount of dopamine into your system. So you will now get bored of long form content. Even perhaps this video is boring you at this point. And lastly, when you watch the achievements of a bunch of individuals on the internet, you are subconsciously comparing yourself with them. And this will lead you to have like a very shitty self-image. Like 30-40 years ago, people just used to compare themselves to their neighbors, to their family members, to their friend circles. And now you're subconsciously comparing yourself to the entire world. Like, you could be a pretty healthy guy, consistently lifting weights for like the last 10 years, and you have improved your strength, and then you see a TikTok of some 14-year-old girl from China outlifting you. Your self-image is definitely going to take a hit. Uninstall this garbage, you don't need it. If you're someone who really wants to get things done, but procrastination and bad habits are just weighing you down, then click on the link in the description and book a free one-on-one initial consultation with me. I only take 5 clients per month. Do it soon so you don't miss out.